back to Haunt the Collector with me, Jace, and I hope we're all doing well. Okay, yeah, today we're going to be chatting about basically copying previously done statues, and yeah, it was a comment that was brought up on one of my videos previously, and it was fine. We had a chat about it, but I thought it was a good thing to do as a topic on an upcoming video. This is that video. Before we get into that, a couple of things for any of you who may not know or haven't seen. On Tuesday night, excuse me, my nose is itching. On Tuesday night, well, it was early hours Wednesday morning for me, I was on Mike and John's channel, Collectors Enabled, doing my first live stream. Had a fantastic time. It was great to sit and chat to those two guys. Really appreciate you both having me on there, and look forward to hopefully being on there again. So if you've not seen it, guys, hop over to Collectors Enabled and have a watch of that. I'm sure if you haven't done so, Mike would really appreciate a sub to the channel. So there's that. Secondly, I've had my email through from Prime 1 that Legolas is shipping. So yeah, hopefully, fingers crossed, he'll be here in about a week and a half's time. So there's that as well. Let's get on topic. So yeah, since Prime 1 started releasing their Lord of the Rings range, and it was just somebody commented the other day, it just jogged my memory of it really, and I thought, oh, we'll have a chat about that. But I've seen it now for months and months, if not years. Every time a piece has come out, there's been people commenting, oh, it's the same as the Sideshow one, oh, it's the same as what Weta did. Or now I can understand people wanting to see certain characters in another pose. You know, maybe they've got the OG piece by Sideshow and they wanted. Prime example is the Boromir having the arrows in him. Apparently it's an exact replica of the was it the Weta one? I can't remember at the moment. And to have him with the Horn of Gondor and things like that, which and I understand that, but some of the pieces that are out or are coming out that people have been discussing, the one which we'll start with is Lurtz, who is behind me. People were sort of saying, oh, it's exactly the same as the Weta piece. Well, I disagree. I disagree with that for this reason. The Weta piece was 6 scale. This is quarter. So this is a bigger piece. So even people who were collecting Lord of the Rings way back then, when that piece was released, because you've got to remember, new people coming in all the time, myself included, and that's only available second hand now. They might not wanted a 6 scale one. They might have wanted a much bigger scale. So that side of the argument I don't agree with. And personally, I think the Prime 1 anyway is better than the Weta one. I honestly do. The base is horrendous, are granted, but Lurtz himself, I think, is a better sculpt, and it looks more like him. And for me, it encaptures Lurtz more from the film than what I feel the Weta one does. My honest opinion on that. And in regards to the Sideshow one, to be honest with you guys, the Sideshow one, for those of you who know, I'll put an image up, the Sunday stroll pose for Lurtz, you know, this seething, raging, aggressive Uruk-hai, captain of the Uruk-hai. This guy that kills Boromir and gives Aragorn a good kicking as well. And they've gone for this Sunday stroll pose. I mean, you can't honestly tell me that pose captures the essence of Lurtz, because it certainly doesn't for me. I'll be totally honest with you guys. When people used to talk about the OG Sideshow Lurtz and I saw the image of it, I thought, that just looks bloody boring to me. I wouldn't have that in my house. I wouldn't pay the money for that. No wonder you see it for sale all the time. So for me, in that scenario, Prime 1 did the right call. They went for, you've got the bow and arrow pose, and not forgetting, if you buy the exclusive, you can have the sword and shield as well. So for me, they've engineered that in, so you can have it that it's not copying the Weta one. I don't think that's a fair comparison in regards to Lurtz. Now, when it comes to the Berserker one, if you go for the Prime 1 exclusive Berserker one, where he's brandishing the head, there's no argument that is definitely a virtually exact copy of the Sideshow one. I can't argue that, and the same if, like, I've gone for the regular one because I didn't really want any of the extras. Oh, Mike, if you're watching this, the regular Berserker, because I know you want the Berserker, and I know how much you love your edition sizes, 100 on the regular. I think it's 350 on the exclusive, but 100 on the regular, so Um, yeah, so what was I saying? Yeah, so even the regular one in the pose that he's got, so obviously you've got to go for the battlements of Helm's Deep. I don't think there's anywhere else you could put a Berserker Orc. So you could kind of argue you could have had him fighting and not riddled with arrows, but as much as it is a copy of what was done before, I would also argue that, and this is kudos to Sideshow for getting it right the first time. I'm not taking anything away from that, but I don't blame Prime 1 for copying that, for doing a blatant copy, because either the brandish head and the riddled with arrows, that to me captures the Berserker Uruk-hai perfectly, that even with all these arrows in him, he's still this seething rage, this seething war machine that was created solely for the destruction of man. So that pose, I think if they'd gone for any other pose, I might not have been as interested. I've championed this Prime 1 Berserker piece since day one. I think it will be exceptional. I honestly think it will be exceptional. And even when I look and compare the photos of the Sideshow one and the Prime 1, and some of you might agree with me, and that's totally cool, but my honest opinion is that the Prime 1 is superior. I think the sculpt is superior, the paint app, oh God, I hope I'm right on this, the paint app looks better. For me, it just captures the sheer rage of the Berserker better in that one than the other one. I really do. And I like the skin tones better, that the war paint looks better to me, to my eye. But I know a lot of people are always going to go for the OG because you're a little bit OG purist, and that's absolutely fine because it's all your collections, your choices. I'm not getting into that argument. But for me, blatant copy, I don't have an issue with it, and I'd really like to know what all your opinions are of this, because the simple question I've got for you all is, as in this case with the Berserker Orc, was the severed head one, or whatever, the arrows in it, the Sideshow one, it's obviously a blatant copy, but I think it was the right choice for them to go for that. But regardless, does it matter? I mean, does it really matter that when a company comes along years later and gets a license, and they look, obviously they know what's been done before, and they're like, wow, fair play Sideshow or Weta or whomever, got that bang on first time. That is, I don't think we can best that. I think they hit the nail on the head with that pose. Is there any reason we can't do it? Is there anything in the licensing laws that say that we can't do that? No. Right, well, let's redo it. We'll alter it slightly, we'll put more on the base, or we'll slightly alter the pose or whatever, but we'll go for that. Is there an issue with that? I mean, this is a business, this is a company who are trying to make money. So for me, there is literally no issue in this area for me, and I've always been a little bit confused why some people, not all, some people seem to be quite upset by it. If it's tried, tested and proven, they'd be foolish to not go for it, in my book. And it's the same with the Boromir being riddled with arrows. In that case, I agree it's a bit different in that. I mean, they've done it, maybe they've done it solely to copy, maybe they've done it because they feel it'll go with Lurtz better. I understand why people would wanted to have seen Prime 1 done Boromir more defiant and fighting, and with the Horn of Gondor. That seems to be a far more poignant thing that people wanted, or pose that people wanted, should I say, sorry. So I understand that. I can understand if you've got a genuine concept that you would have preferred to have seen, but if you haven't got another concept, why are you complaining? Why are you complaining that they copied like the Berserker? I don't get that, because it was the right move for me. I wouldn't be as excited about this Berserker by Prime 1. I think from what I can physically see in the Two Towers of any possible pose they could have gone for, that I would have liked more than this, because as I say, I believe that having him riddled with arrows and still with his sword in his hair screaming, and just that, it captures the rage and the uncontrollable fury of a Berserker Uruk-hai perfectly for me, and that's why I can't wait to get that piece. Basically, that's the question I'm asking in this video. When this happens, and obviously it's not just Lord of the Rings. This has happened in many other lines by other companies, and it's going to carry on happening. Does it bother you? Is it something that generally bothers you? And if so, why? Is it just the fact that they've copied? Because I don't see that as an issue. I really don't see that as an issue at all. Or is it because you feel that they've been lazy, or they've not gone for what you feel are better concepts? Let me know in the comments, guys. I'd really, really love to know. Okay, one more thing. I will be going on Pain Collectibles in September, so I'll be doing my second live stream, so wait to appear on your channel, guys. Thank you ever so much for the invite. Can't wait, can't wait, can't wait. Cheers to Mike and John for inviting me and having me on their channel. Such a fantastic time. I can't believe we were doing 2.5 hours. It went like that. So much fun. To the rest of you, as always, guys, if you've enjoyed this video, please share it by giving it a like. If you haven't done so already, please consider subscribing to the channel. And anything regarding any of the topics I've discussed on this video or anything else, please, please, please put it in the comments below. And I'm going to go now. I will catch you all on the next video. Take care of yourselves and have a great weekend ahead. Ta-ra from me. Bye.